What up, famski? Your friendly neighborhood resident Portuguese fit boy Eric Lima here, bringing to you another video episode from my secondary YouTube channel vlog, in which I present to all of you my sentimental thoughts come from my heart and my soul, and my mental oddball shenanigans come from my mind and brain. This is EML77 TV episode number 898. We are inching closer to 1,000 episodes. I cannot wait. Wow, my video's got 3 views already. I just uploaded a birthday message from my mother. Totally awesome, right? But that was last episode. This episode, Raw, ThunderDome recap, and Vaughn Baskin, my friend, you gotta listen up to this, because I think you're onto something. I know you come up with so many crazy ideas for storylines and all that, but this one here, in this episode, a special segment on here, I think you might want to listen in on this, Mr. Vaughn Baskin. So listen closely, all right? First of all, Randy Orton kicks off with a promo about the Clash of the Champions of what happened to him, and after what he did to the legends, Big Show, Christian, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels. And he challenged then he challenged Drew McIntyre to a title match in Hell in a Cell, at Hell in a Cell. McIntyre confronts Orton and brawled with him. Technically, he's going to accept. So that's how this starts off. So there was a 6-woman tag team match for the first wrestling action. Zelina Vega teaming up with Lana and Natalya, that I call the Influencer Foundation, to take on the team of Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and the Raw Women's Champ Asuka. Well-fought matchup, but Mandy Rose picked up the victory for her team as well. Boy, I'm getting, yeah, why not? I'm getting a lot of friend requests from fellow sports. Anyway, so that is really exciting. And you just did, Matthew John Klein, because I tagged her in it. Anyways, where am I? I'm just so excited about this Raw ThunderDome recap here. All right, 6-woman tag team matchup: Zelina Vega, Lana, and Natalya, that I call the Social Influencer Foundation, to face the team of Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. While Rose got the pin for her team. And I love Asuka. Asuka likes to copy her opponents or her tag team partners. And while they were flexing the muscles, Asuka's doing the dancing. And I love Asuka. She's hilarious. So they picked up the victory. Meanwhile, the women's tag team champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler attacked Natalya and Lana again. Lana went to the announcer's table again. Jeez. And R-Truth and Little Jimmy did a mock draft. Some of the names he come. R-Truth's hilarious, right? But Drew Gulak disguised himself as a janitor and pins Truth for the 24/7 title again. All right. Now here's where the segment comes in. MVP was talking to Ricochet, Mustafa Ali, and Apollo Crews. He said, for one night only, there's an offer for the Hurt, join a spot for the Hurt Business. I don't know who's going to take it. And so they're like, we don't know. And then all of a sudden, Mustafa Ali was kind of worried. He goes, come on, Ali. He's like, yeah, all that. More on that story. Trust me. You're gonna, if you haven't seen Raw last night, you're nuts. Rollins and Murphy, after they had a little bit of dissension, going up against Dominic Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo, with Rollins and Murphy picking up the victory. But there was more tension between these two concerning Aaliyah Mysterio, Dominic's sister. Braun Strowman comes up. There's no Raw on the ground. He says, technically you're not a superstar here on Raw. I can get you a match, though it can't be sanctioned. Fine, get me a matchup. Keith Lee just happens to listen in and said, sign me up. Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Titans Clash. I'm good. I can't wait for that one. It was a lot of fun. And then Murphy and Rollins confront each other, and then Murphy's like, if I want to be your disciple again, Seth Rollins, I want you to apologize, not to me, but to Aaliyah Mysterio. And then And then the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens calls out Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's been hanging out in the Firefly Funhouse, talking to the puppets, saying a stupid song. But Kevin Owens says, you know what? Friday night, I'm getting you, right? And then as he walks, and he goes, you know what? I'm not waiting till Friday. I'm going to come find you, right? As he walks back, Aleister Black hits him with a black mass out of nowhere. I'm like, ooh, boy. Oh, boy, this one is not over by a long shot between those two. Charlotte Caruso decided to interview Drew McIntyre, which McIntyre says to look in tonight's six-man tag. McIntyre teamed up with the Raw Tag Champions, the Street Profits, against Orton, Rude, and Ziggler. Uh-oh, I just realized. Ziggler and Mandy Rose on Raw together. What has The Miz done? What has The Miz done? I just pray that Heavy Machinery gets drafted to Monday Night Raw. That's all I'm praying. So anyways, and so he accepted Orton's challenge for the Hell in a Cell match. Strowman versus Keith Lee. These two brawl to a double countout. They kept on brawling, knocking down a railing, went to an LED screen, went through a table. These two monsters, I'll tell you one thing right now. You're talking about Limitless Keith Lee. This dude. These two dudes, I know, it was eventually bound to happen. These two, when I saw this at this brief interaction, stared down at the Royal Rumble, I said, those two are going to go at it. One of these days, those two are going to go at it. And here it is. Those two. I thought that Dabba-Kato, Strowman had a fight, man. Strowman made mincemeat of him. Let's see what happens, man. This is great. So, I think there's going to be unfinished business between these two, and I'm looking forward next week to see what happens. Drew Gulak had the 24/7 title brawl with Truth and Tozawa, and they were fighting in a trash bin, mobile trash bin, which R-Truth picked up the title again, won it for the 42nd time. I think that's some kind of record. R-Truth found the only WWE superstar to win one title in the company, any title within the company, that many times, 42 times. So congratulations to R-Truth. I think he meant. So, then they had the Hurt Business team. Oh boy, this gets interesting. Lashley and the U.S. champion Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin team up against Apollo Crews and Ricochet. Lashley and Benjamin picked up the victory, because of MVP chicanery and all that good stuff. So, anyways, Mustafa Ali decided to look for the Hurt Business, and he found the Hurt Business. All three members. No Cedric Alexander. So it's just Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and MVP. Mustafa Ali says, MVP, I'm going to challenge you to a match one-on-one. Bring these two with you. And he goes, you're out of your mind. I accept. Fine. More on that story. Okay? Then Rollins came out to demand an apology from Murphy, but Murphy decided to punch Rollins' lights out, and they started brawling. The Mysterio family came out after Aaliyah stopped Seth Rollins from nailing Murphy with a steel chair after kendo stick attacks and all. And then they tried to get Aaliyah away from Murphy. They don't trust Murphy. I don't blame them. Women's Tag Team Championship on the line. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler versus the Riot Squad. And they did a number, especially on Ruby Riot. Hopefully Ruby is okay. In the end, Jackson Baszler will prove too much, despite the fact they don't get along, Jackson Baszler. So somebody's got to stop these two, and they got to outsmart these two. Put the Iconics back together. I really don't care at this point. Now here's the fun part, and Vaughn Baskin, listen up to this one. This is going to be great. This is beautiful. I love it. MVP went one-on-one with Mustafa Ali. They're about to get the match going. They're going back and forth. And then the lights start flickering on and off. The Retribution logo appears. And all of a sudden, Retribution, along with Slapjack, T-Bar, Mace, and the rest of the hooded hoodlums surrounding the ring. All right, the Hurt Business all back together. And then MVP pointed out Ali and said, Ali, are you with us? Are you with us? Are you in? Are you in? And Ali's not looking around. Yeah, I'm in, right? So all four of them were like this, they're surrounding the ring. They're ready to fight on all fronts. Then Mustafa Ali, being the brave one that he is, jumped out of the ring, got into the face of T-Bar and Mace. And they're like, yeah, show him what's up, right? Her Business thought, yeah, there you go, Ali, right? And all of a sudden, Ali staring at him like this. Then he turns around, has this evil smirk on his face, points at the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business is like, what the heck is going on here? Ali points at them and says, get him. All of them jump on the Hurt Business, pounding away. Mustafa Ali, I'm like, what's going on? What the heck is happening? Oh my God, could this be? And then before you know it, Ali's back in the ring. And they take out the Hurt Business. Ali's in the ring with Retribution. And does this. Mustafa Ali is the leader. Not only joined Retribution, he is the leader of Retribution. Now, here's where Vaughn Baskin maybe onto something here. Was Ali the SmackDown hacker all along? How long did Ali had this plan? How long did Mustafa Ali plan? Here's another question. Did Apollo Crews and Ricochet know about this? Does Cedric Alexander know about this? Those three, even though Cedric Alexander's turned against Ricochet and Apollo Crews to join the Hurt Business, he's been friends with Mustafa Ali for a long time. Did anybody even know? I can imagine what every superstar is feeling, because they all have respect for Mustafa Ali being the good guy and all that. Now, is it tied in with the SmackDown hacker? Was Ali the hacker? Did Ali plan this since he was the hacker on SmackDown and go over to Raw and make things happen? Wait, there is a lot of questions. And there's a lot of questions. Maybe Vaughn Baskin may be onto something, but if Vaughn Baskin says that if Ali's a SmackDown hacker and he's behind Retribution, all we need to know now is get Mustafa Ali to explain everything next week next week on Raw during the draft. I mean, Mustafa Ali's going to have to explain himself. Could this be a Trojan horse trick, a la Bully Ray, Aces and Eights in Impact Wrestling? Could this be that all along he had this plan since the beginning of the year? Could it be along that during the pandemic, during everything that's happened, that he had this planned? Mustafa Ali as leader of Retribution? Imagine the possibilities. Was he behind? There is a lot of questions that need to be answered in this situation. Could it be that Mustafa Ali was sick and tired of being put in the back burner? Maybe he's sick and tired of being bullied by the Hurt Business. I don't know what his story is. What is going on? A man that well respected in that locker room, had an inspirational story. Now, being the leader of the most notorious faction since D-Generation X. Could this make this more interesting? Mustafa Ali, leader of Retribution? Folks, there's only one way we can figure out everything. Let the man explain why. Let the man explain. Is the SmackDown hacker situation going to tie in on all this? Is Ali behind it? He always says the truth will be revealed. So you know what this means. A lot of people, not just Vaughn Baskin, a lot of people are tweeting this. He's got to be the SmackDown hacker. It's got to tie into this. It's got, we'll find out. We'll find out when Mustafa Ali gets the opportunity to explain himself. Because right now, I can tell you that he's got a big, humongous bullseye now in that Raw locker room. Or even SmackDown. Think about that. But I'm sure Ricochet and Apollo Crews, and even Cedric Alexander is going to want an explanation from Mr. Ali. Ladies and gentlemen, this should have ended Monday Night Raw that way. Imagine that. Imagine Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali being the leader of Retribution. This is going to be more interesting than ever before. This is going to be the most interesting situation, storyline. Vaughn Baskin, you're onto something, but in order to prove your theory, we're going to need to hear from the man, Mustafa Ali himself, to find out if this was his plan all along since his day on SmackDown as a hacker. If that's the case, why did he help Otis and Mandy get together? We'll find out next week. We'll find out next week, because I'm sure Mustafa Ali will have a lot to talk about. We'll have a lot to explain. Final match on the card for Monday Night Raw. 6-man tag team match, Orton, Ziggler, and Rude versus Drew McIntyre and the Street Profits, the champions, on one corner. Ziggler, Rude, and Orton on the other. Well-fought matchup. In the end, Randy Orton hit the RKO. Got the victory for his team. But, again, I mean, think about it. I mean, just think about it for just a second. I'm trying to write down NXT TakeOver Fallout. Okay, just think about this. The big story of this Raw Thunderdome recap: Mustafa Ali not only joining Retribution, but being the leader of Retribution. I am sure Mustafa Ali's got a lot on his mind after this. I mean, I cannot believe it. I was like, this is going to be very interesting. Can't wait to see what happens next week. Can't wait. The draft's coming up. Who knows, Retribution could be split at the seams. But Mustafa Ali and Retribution. Mustafa Ali as leader of Retribution. It is freaking amazing. It was beautiful, man. A Trojan horse trick all along. Mustafa Ali almost basically pulled a Bully Ray. And believe me, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning for Retribution. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm interested to see what happens now. I'm interested in this Retribution storyline. I can't wait to see what's going on. I can imagine how Caleb Braxton's feeling, because Retribution frightened her so many times, and all of a sudden, Mustafa Ali, one of the most well-liked superstars, is now the leader and behind Retribution. Was he the SmackDown hacker all along? We don't know. Could this tie in? Could those two storylines tie in? It has to. There's got to be something going on. In fact, Mustafa Ali said the truth would be heard, and so did a hacker. Vaughn Baskin, you're on to something, dude. You probably looked into too much of this, but you know what? You're on to something. But the only way we know for sure, if it's confirmed, we need to hear from the man Mustafa Ali himself. Hopefully we'll do that. Hopefully we'll have that next week. We'll find out. Unbelievable. What a Raw that was. So, okay, we get tomorrow night NXT Fallout from TakeOver 31, and Halloween Havoc will be coming up next for NXT. We'll see what happens, all right? That's all the time we have on this show. Guys, we're closing in on 1,000, and the next episode will be 899. So, we're nearing 900 episodes, all right? I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless you guys, and we'll see what happens. This is good. Mustafa Ali is leader of Retribution. This gets more interesting. All right. Peace.